Hi all, it's Jem here, welcome back. This week I'm going to be talking about the time that I joined a team and I was like, this retrospective, we need to stop making it a therapy session. Retrospectives are not for ranting. I was hired actually through a lead developer, and I know what you're thinking, lead developer in Scrum, what? That's not right, is it? Again, that's for another vlog. When I joined, I was told by the lead developer that one of the problems that the team has is there's a lot of complaining, a lot of ranting in the retrospectives, and it doesn't feel like they get anywhere. They don't really get to any kind of outcome, which is a reasonable concern to have. My understanding of the team was primed before I actually met them. Are you with me? Like, I didn't see the team first. Understandably, I was brought in for a reason, and one of the concerns that the lead developer had was that thing. But that can affect the way you filter stuff in and out, and also the way you may react to things, or overreact in my case. I watched the team, and there is a lot of energy put into people speaking about, things they're not happy about. It was pretty hard to get to a Kaizen, like an improvement item for the retrospective. Now, when I started to facilitate this event, I found myself stopping people from sharing what had happened in terms of their emotions and feelings, and trying to rush people along to get to the data, to get to the output of the sprint, to get to the maths, the inputs and the outputs. Now, this stuff is of course important, but what this created was a situation whereby people were feeling shut down. And I only learned this later. We were getting out the empirical part of the sprint, the objective stuff around what happened. Did we hit the sprint goal? Did we not? What was the amount of planned work versus unplanned work? What are the disturbances? Where was the lag or the dysfunction in our flow to deliver stuff? I was very keen to just focus on the objective data. And the impact of that is that people don't get to vent. Retrospectives started to feel a little bit like tumbleweed. They were quite mechanical. Data and information was being surfaced, but that data and that information lack the human stuff. And it's the human stuff which is equally, and if not more important, because it is the interactions of the people that are responsible for teams becoming effective. And this was a real ScrumMaster Screw-Up from me, because it created a perception of me which was, this guy is only interested in the mechanics and the outputs. He doesn't really want to hear about how we experience the sprint, what's going on for us, what are our grievances, what are our own personal pain points. In reflection, one of the things to think about when you think about Scrum, everything you do in Scrum is about empiricism, whether it's the daily Scrum or the sprint planning meeting or the review or the retro. It's about using your learnings to make new decisions. Fell into the trap of thinking that empiricism only means to be looking for the objective data. There's also the subjective stuff as well. The objective is, as I say, what went into the sprint, what come out of the sprint, what were the defects, what are the disturbances, what are the dysfunctions. That's fine. And that's, of course, very, very important to be evidence-based and to use empiricism in an objective way. But there's also the subjective stuff, which is the human stuff, the human-centric stuff, the gooey stuff, the things that, help us operate our being, our feelings, which are really, really important to the way that we work. And if we don't get to hear people's feelings and we don't let them rant, I think there is an important space you create to let people rant, speak it out, let them, really surface what's going on for them, understand what needs are and aren't being met. What can happen is people, team players, they may not feel so heard, and when they're not heard, they can internalize information and stop speaking out about things that could be affecting them and also affecting the team. And that's where continuous improvement can really, really suffer. So in terms of this screw-up, I became aware of the way that I primed myself in the way that I entered the situation with the lead developer telling me about their concerns. Being aware of that bias, that this team is the ranting team, I could have been better with that. Secondly, trying to strike a balance between the objective and the subjective data in the retrospective, and to also explicitly tell the team, what it is that I'm looking for. And if I'm doing either or of those things too little or too much, can you help me along with that? If we find ourselves only focusing on the objective, just the maths and the inputs and outputs, can we keep ourselves honest and remember to understand, to talk about our feelings and our needs? If we're only talking about our feelings and our needs and we're not looking about what happened in the sprint in terms of what we delivered, can we again help one another try and strike that balance? Okay, I hope that was useful. Look forward to seeing you next week. I'll keep it coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much.